What's going on, everybody? So today you're going to get a twofer. You're going to get a Tundra video and you're going to get a Wrangler video. And the reason I'm doing this is I debated on making these separate videos, but this is so small and so easy, I just felt bad about doing it. I can't do you guys that way. I can't make two videos about the same thing when it's so small and minute like this. But even though it's small and minute, sometimes the little things make a big difference. And these things are pretty cool, I think. We did an unboxing of these, and today we're going to install them and see what kind of difference they actually make. Now, I don't know if I'll show me installing all four of them on both vehicles. Like I said, I started to actually do a video on both, and I thought somebody's going to call me out if I do two separate videos about this, and as easy as this mod is. But what it is these Jeep valve stem covers, and then this come in the coolest little box. If y'all didn't watch the unboxing video, these are the Tundra ones. Ooh la la, those things are pretty nice. They really are. And when you take them out, sure enough, they have a little Toyota emblem right there. And these are like a black chrome. They're actually really cool. I got both these off of Amazon. They weren't very expensive. They were probably like $6 or $7 a piece. Not for both of them, but this one actually did come with a keychain, and it, I don't know. I didn't really like the keychain, and these are actually made into like an, I don't know if it's hexagon or octagon. I didn't count the sides, but it's actually has flats on it. And the keychain, they showed in the picture using that keychain to put over this and tightening it down. Now, I don't know who needs a tool to tighten down your valve stem caps, but you're tightening them down way too tight if you are using a tool. I would just like to go ahead and throw that out there. But what we're going to do now is get the camera turned down to wheels, and then we're going to install these things. Now, of course, whenever I change the wheels and tires on this Jeep and get it lifted, I can just replace these with it. And more than likely, I will go with a black rim, and this will match even better when I get my black rims. But I just happened to see these, couldn't resist buying them. Sometimes, I want to tell you why I did that. Sometimes I put stuff in my Amazon cart. I knew I was looking for a Jeep Wrangler TJ. That's what I was looking for. And so one day I just started going through Amazon, just sticking stuff in my shopping cart, because I knew I'd eventually find the one I was looking for, and I did. And I knew I would buy it. So I just started sticking all these mods in there. Now, I didn't order them all at one time, and I'm not going to order them all at one time. But I have something in there to kind of pick from each week, every other week, or whatever the case may be. And I do the same thing with my Tundra and the Roush. I just stick stuff in there, and then I go through it, and I decide what mods I want to buy that week, or like I said, every other week, or monthly, or however I decide I want to do it. Those mods are in there. But sometimes stuff, even like this, will come up unavailable. Something that I've been putting off, and I'm like, I'll get that next week. I'll get that next week. I'll get that next week. And then when I finally start to go to buy it, it is currently unavailable from the supplier. So I have to wait, if it ever even comes back in stock. So something cheap like this, I just go ahead and buy it. There's no reason to take a chance on it not being there whenever you decide you want it, when it's only like $5 or $6. Just go ahead and purchase it, and you got them when you need them. So what we're going to do now, like I said, is we're going to get the camera down to the wheels and tires, and we're going to install these. One thing I do want to say, though, and there's no way the camera's going to pick this up. Each one of these, it does too, let's see here. Each one of these has a little O-ring in there. This O-ring is a little crooked. So I'm going to go get like a little flat screwdriver or something like that. You want to make sure these O-rings are flat down in there before you actually install them. That's just a little side note. Some people may not even know they have O-rings in them. Another thing I want to say I liked about these, and I did double check on that, they are all aluminum inside. Some of these have plastic inserts, and I hate those because I've actually bought some of them, and the plastic spins inside these, and it freaks me out sometimes. I'm like, how am I going to get that back off there? And I've actually had to rip them off my valve stem and then get the plastic off afterwards because the plastic stripped out inside them. And I made sure the ones I ordered did not have that plastic insert in both cases. Now in both these, they both have O-rings. You want to make sure both of them's O-rings are flat. But when you get them flattened out and they're sitting flat in the bottom, flush in the bottom, go ahead and install them on your wheel. So let me make sure all my O-rings are sitting flush, and then we'll put them on. And that car was hauling hind end down this little B-side road. See you in a minute. Okay, so like I said, I just took a very small screwdriver. This just happens to be a little Craftsman screwdriver I had. And I just made sure I flipped these over and then flattened out, made sure that the little O-ring in the bottom was sitting flush. Now I did talk about the black chrome finish on these. I do want to say that the Jeep ones are like a black anodized or something like that. And the anodizing is pretty nice on these as well. There's no flaws. They got a little bit down inside the threads, but that shouldn't hurt anything. So again, make sure you flatten out them O-rings and don't get them kinked up or anything like that. So now we're going to turn the camera down. We're going to put the Jeep ones on first. Okay, of course you have to take off your old plastic, normal looking plain Jane valve stem and replace it with this pretty cool Jeep valve stem. There you have it. Jeep come out pretty good. So now let's go ahead and do the other three. That was pretty quick. I may have showed you doing it just for sake of showing you doing it. If you don't want to watch me do the other three, you can fast forward till you see the Tundra. But this should not take very long, so we're just going to actually install all three of them. Now, I do want to say the O-ring in these are a lot better than the O-rings. Actually, these don't even come with O-rings. You can actually feel it when you hit that O-ring. It tightens down and seals that off. Number 3. Now, I do want to say you have to be you don't just want to run these down. You want to make sure you've got the threads lined up good, because you probably could cross thread that if you didn't, because this is metal now where it used to be plastic. You could cross thread your valve stems, so just be careful when you're putting those on. There is a little bit of tension when you're taking it back off, so you know, it ain't going to come off or anything like that. And now for the last one, you can see I do have brake dust on this. My brakes are squeaking. I am actually replacing everything in the front as far as brakes go today. We're going to do brakes, calipers, rotors, pads, everything. So we're just going to replace it all. Right there's the fourth one for the Jeep. The Jeep's all done. Let's go do the Tundra. Okay, I've not even driven this truck since I got the Jeep, and you can see how dirty it got. But this one actually has a silver, I don't know if you can see that or not, valve stem cover. Don't know why they came with silver ones when the wheel's black, but we're fixing to fix that right now. There we have it. The valve stem on this is actually metal all the way through, but there's your Toyota emblem sitting just about perfect. And I think that black looks way better on this on these black wheels than this silver one did. Now the silver one actually did have an O-ring inside it, so these are upgraded plastic valve stem covers, but I like these a little bit better. Okay, here's the next one. Like I said, it doesn't take no time to do this, so I'm just going to show you all of them. Make sure you get it lined up good, because you can definitely cross thread probably the valve stem cap on these. It doesn't feel like it actually reaches all the way down to the O-ring. I don't think that actually would make a difference, but because these shouldn't leak unless you depress the valve stem. But I do want to say it does not feel like it reaches the O-ring in this to seal that off, but it looks better anyway. Wheel number 3. About lost the valve stem cap. I know this, there's no way that's actually, it's bottoming out on the valve stem. It's not actually reaching the, it's on there good and tight, but it's not actually reaching the O-ring. And there, like I said, I don't think that'll make a difference. I don't think it's going to leak either way without pushing in the valve stem itself. Like I said, it sure does look a lot better like that than it did the other way. And that black actually blends in with the wheels a ton better. Okay, now I want to say I'm not going to throw away my original valve stems. And that's because, you know, I could be somewhere and somebody might want to like my valve stems a little more than I would like them to like them. And I would come out of the store and they may not be there, or the valve stem caps, that is, and they may not be there. These would be very easy just to unscrew and walk off with. You could do it very quickly, and that's why I'm going to keep my originals. If that happens, you know, I'll probably just order another set. They're not that expensive. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you never know. Some people see things, like them a little bit more than they should. So there again, don't throw away originals. You might need them till you can get another set in. Again, very easy mod. Not all mods have to be expensive. Not all mods have to be big and huge, but sometimes it's the small details that really make it. I said in the other video, if you don't believe the small details make it, when you go to paint a car or go to paint anything, when you mask off a nice edge, put a little sag in it and then paint it and pull that masking tape off, and where it should be one color and it's a different color but it's only a smidgen, that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Like I said, sometimes it's the small details, but it really makes a big difference. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you guys next time.